Let me try this filter.
What? You need to stop doing that, man.
This might be hard to hear, but at 38 years old, you're way past your prime as a woman.
Why do you say that?
So how much money do you want your man to make per year?
$300K.
How tall do you want him to be?
6 feet.
Okay. So you think you're going to meet this guy at 35. Do you think you're at your prime or on your decline at 38?
Prime.
You think you're at your prime? Okay.
Well, yeah.
Do you think he's at his prime or his decline at 38?
His prime.
Okay. So this might be hard to hear, but at 38 years old, you're way past your prime as a woman.
Why do you say that?
Because the things that make a woman attractive are intimately tied to her age. The U.S. Census Bureau with the National Center for Health Statistics. So this is probably going to be one of the most accurate representations of the man of your dreams and how close you are. Well, the statistical chances of finding this man. Okay, 35 to 38, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So what race do you actually want? Hispanic?
White.
She said 6 foot. Quick, 6 foot. And then, do you care if he owns or rents?
Owns.
All right. And then,
He's making 30K.
do you care about his education level?
No.
Can he be fat?
No.
Okay, no obesity. And can he be married?
No.
Let's see how common this guy is. That's good. You scored a perfect 5 out of 5 cat lady. You're definitely going to be a cat and or a dog lady in the future. So, with that said, so you want a guy that makes that kind of money, right? And he's going to be at his prime. You're going to be on your decline. Do you actually think you'll be able to attract and retain this type of guy at that age?
Well, now that you did all this, now I gotta reevaluate.
But wait! There's more!
The 10, but he has a dad bod.
I'll give him like a 4. Dad bod, like 11.
What in the hell are the size of those pants? 42 by 40? This girl is literally built like the capital D. This is the female Latin version of Peter Griffin. And isn't it crazy, the double standards? When a man has standards, it's considered, oh, he's a misogynist, a conspiracy theorist. But when a woman has standards, it's considered a preference.
Rumors are swirling that Disney might now be shelving the woke Snow White movie before it even comes out.
Next time, buddy.
Since the jump, this movie has been tainted by controversy thanks to their insufferable lead actress Rachel Zegler's nauseating feminist PR tour and their decision to not use any little people actors for dwarves and just use magical creatures instead. Dwarves! I'm saying it. I'm crying. I'm saying it. All of the backlash combined with the writer's strike makes it more likely that Disney will choose to do a Disney Plus release instead of a theatrical one to save face and finances. This would save Disney the inevitable embarrassment of another flop at the box office and an opportunity to blame the change solely on the writer's strike to save face. Remember I said this when the fated announcement happens.
The zombie virus is over, but her eyes are still social distancing. Disney probably had a better chance at casting Rachel as Sid for the live action for Ice Age.
He needs some milk.
Here's the biggest reason why we have so many narcissistic women like Rachel Zegler.
We've created a generation of narcissistic women, and what's happened is the rise of social media and the rise of online dating and the rise of feminism has taught women that they are not to blame for any poor choices. Every poor choice is glamorized, so if you want to be a sex worker, it's great. If you want to post in bikini pictures online, it's fine. If you want to be with it, every poor choice is glamorized. And every internal reflection is seen as gaslighting yourself. So they've even got terms for internal reflection to prevent it happening. And so what will happen is they are trained to not reflect on themselves because we've been told we've been oppressed for so many years. Now it's time to make sure we project. And so we don't take any accountability. And as a result, when we get into relationships, if we don't feel completely soothed all the time, he must be a narcissist. He must be a manipulator. He must be gaslighting. He, rather than I. And unfortunately, we've got an online market that caters to that wounded woman, that caters to that entitled woman, and caters to that narcissistic woman. And it's so wild to me that so many women talk about narcissism, but the society today is just catering to narcissistic women. If I post a picture online, a bikini picture online, there's nothing my husband can do that could compete with that level of accolade.
Attention.
Impossible.
The compliments, the attention, the messaging, the you're so sexy and beautiful, and all these different things from thousands or potentially millions of men
around the world
who have money and all these things.
Yeah, and there's nothing he can do. He can't post online and get the same reaction. And more so, he can't give me the same level of validation. So what's happened is we've created a setup in society that means men have to compete with a level of validation they can't compete with.
Unfortunately, this video will never hit the audience that needs to hear it. And these are the people that really need to hear it.
How much money should your man make a year?
I mean, like 100,000. If you make that a year, it's 8 figures.
8 figures?
Ideally.
Okay, so that's $10 million.
120 or 150.
Yeah.
I would want my husband to be making 120, 150 around there.
70 and 100K.
Like 300,000 or like 200, 300K.
From 70 to 100K.
100 to 150K.
127.
100K.
Like 100K. $500,000.
150. 150. 650,000.
He still has to be accountable to me. I'm
Why?
still
He's
his
giving
wife.
you an allowance and you're driving a G-Wagon. Why is he
Okay.
still accountable?
And
he's getting this pussy.
And I'm raising his children.
So he's getting that pussy? So would you have like a magical
is.
pussy that like has leprechauns coming out of it?
Listen.
Like,
Can you tell us what would you bring to the table for a guy like this?
Me. Like the fuck? Like I don't like that whole like
Bruh.
prove yourself.
Yeah,
as having
but-
criteria to a man. It's like, is this a job interview?
Most of these cream of the crop of cream gobblers, they don't want the man. They want the lifestyle that the man provides. And I just love how this girl compares it to a job, but expects just to show up and get paid. It makes absolute no sense.
I don't understand how we're getting so off topic. This is about feminism today, whereas everybody wants to make this about their individual, here are all the multitude of other things that factor into my person. Great. This is about feminism. It's about womanhood. I understand that all of you have your own individual experiences and the other things that feed into you as a person. That's perfectly fine. But this is where intersectionality falls off the planet and loses, I would argue, probably the vast majority of people, including me. I'm not even a feminist. I don't give a crap about feminists arguing amongst themselves about who's the most victimized, but this is annoying to listen to. I honestly I don't understand anything anybody's even trying to get at.
You know why feminism does not make any sense? Because this is what they're teaching in feminism class.
What the fuck?
Want to be honest, the most romantic thing somebody did for me, it was my first boyfriend. I was just in high school. He was a little older than me, and it was Valentine's Day. I'll never forget. He robbed somebody and gave me the money and gave me the bill he stole, and it was just so sweet because he was out of breath and stuff. He's like, here, I just got this for you. I was like, oh, so sweet. Thank you. Because nobody never did nothing like that for me. He stole for me, so I'm like, oh, you did that for me, really? How old were you? I was like 15. I was 15. Yeah, 15. That was my first boyfriend. And that's the first time somebody ever had got me a gift or tried to do something for me. And I know he didn't have it, so the fact that you still made a way and you did what you had to do, that was nice. And it was only $13, but it was nice. And it was a fake Gucci belt. But I was so, it was sweet.
I'm not sure what's more shocking, the fact that she finds this romantic, or the simple fact that she just admitted to being an accomplice for robbery.
You can see that big dip, that U shape here. That's that area of low pressure that's going to be moved.
I don't think there's anything wrong with average.
We're talking about looks alone.
Looks alone.
I
think like there's nothing wrong with being average. I think if you take 10 girls at the table, like half of us probably are average.
I think no one wants to be like honest with
themselves.
themselves.
Just because you're not saying you're a 10 doesn't mean you're not confident either. There's a difference between realistic and just not confident.
I agree completely.
Yeah, I don't know why like we live in this society where average is seen as a bad thing. Like most people are average. Not everyone can be like, if you think about it, if you're an 8, that means you're in the top 20% of beauty. You should have had top 20% of beauty results. So that means, I don't know, modeling contracts, I don't know, eligible top 20%, 10% men in your DMs or, I don't know, but not just like taking you seriously.
Now, ladies, here's a very valuable lesson that you all can learn.
This man's, okay? General profile, good looking dude. Okay, let's go here. 62 likes and what? 5 matches? Alright. Now, we have Felicia, who's a floor.
Ladies, your ego is inflated and overblown is because of social media and dating apps like this. Baby dolls, I just want you to humbly remember that the floor gets the same amount of likes as you do. Gentlemen, on that note, that's it for today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
This.